Welcome back. Today, we have an urgent topic to discuss that affects us all. Imagine walking into your local grocery store and finding that some of your favorite foods are no longer available. It's a reality that might be closer than you think. Today, we're diving into a critical issue affecting everyone: 12 essential grocery items that might vanish from shelves soon. These aren't just any items, they are staples that many of us rely on for our daily meals. From fresh produce to pantry essentials, the potential shortages could impact our diets and our wallets. Global supply chain issues, extreme weather, and international politics are creating a perfect storm, threatening staple foods we rely on daily. Shipping delays, natural disasters, and geopolitical tensions are all contributing to this looming crisis. For instance, droughts and floods are wreaking havoc on crop yields, while international trade disputes are causing bottlenecks in the supply chain. Stick around to learn which items are at risk and how you can prepare. We'll not only identify the foods that are disappearing but also offer practical tips on how to cope with these shortages. Whether it's finding alternative products, stocking up wisely, or even growing your own food, we've got you covered. So don't go anywhere. This is information you won't want to miss. Let's begin with wheat flour, a humble ingredient that quietly forms the backbone of countless foods we enjoy every day. From the softest sandwich bread to the crispiest pizza crust, from comforting bowls of pasta to delicate pastries, wheat flour is the foundation of so many meals around the world. It's a staple that connects cultures and cuisines, found in kitchens from bustling cities to rural villages. But right now, this essential ingredient is facing an unprecedented threat. Across the globe, severe droughts are devastating major wheat-producing regions. Fields that once flourished with golden stalks are now parched and barren, the soil cracked and lifeless under relentless heat. Farmers are watching their crops wither away, powerless against the changing climate. These catastrophic crop failures aren't isolated, they're happening in multiple countries at once, putting enormous pressure on the world's wheat supply. As if the weather wasn't enough, government policies are making things even more difficult. In response to shrinking harvests, some of the world's largest wheat exporters, like India, have imposed strict export bans. These measures are meant to protect domestic supplies, but they're also sending shockwaves through the global market. News headlines warn of a looming export crisis, and countries that rely on imported wheat are scrambling to secure enough for their populations. The result? Instability and uncertainty. As supply dwindles and demand remains high, the price of wheat flour is climbing rapidly. Shoppers are already noticing higher prices at the checkout, and bakeries and restaurants are feeling the squeeze. The cost of everyday favorites, toast, pizza, noodles, and more, could soon be out of reach for many families. For some, it's not just about paying more, it's about whether these foods will be available at all. As the crisis deepens, supermarket shelves are starting to empty. Shoppers searching for flour may find only bare shelves and out-of-stock signs. The ripple effects of this shortage could touch every kitchen, every bakery, and every table. Whether you're a home baker or just someone who loves a good slice of bread, it's time to prepare for higher costs, or the possibility of going without. Wheat flour, the foundation of so many foods, is suddenly at risk. Cooking oil, a kitchen staple found in nearly every household, is suddenly at the center of a global crisis. Whether you're frying, baking, or simply dressing a salad, cooking oil is an essential ingredient that most of us take for granted. But now, this everyday product is making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Across supermarkets worldwide, shelves that once overflowed with bottles of sunflower, canola, and vegetable oil are now shockingly bare. Shoppers are left searching for alternatives, sometimes leaving empty-handed or forced to pay much higher prices for the few bottles that remain. The supply squeeze is real, and it's hitting both consumers and businesses hard. One of the biggest reasons for this crisis is the ongoing war in Ukraine. Ukraine is one of the world's largest producers and exporters of sunflower oil, supplying nearly half of the global market. But with fields damaged, farmers displaced, and shipping routes blocked, production has plummeted. The ripple effects are being felt far beyond Eastern Europe, impacting kitchens and restaurants around the globe. At the same time, other major oil-producing regions are facing their own challenges. Severe droughts have dried up fields in countries like Argentina and Canada, slashing yields of soy and canola oil. Labor shortages, driven by the pandemic and economic uncertainty, mean fewer hands to plant, tend, and harvest these vital crops. The result? A perfect storm of reduced supply from multiple sources. All these factors have combined to send cooking oil prices soaring to record highs. Charts tracking the cost of vegetable oils show a dramatic spike, with prices doubling or even tripling in some regions. For families on tight budgets, this means making tough choices at the checkout counter. For restaurants and food producers, it's a struggle to keep costs under control and menus affordable. In response, many stores have started rationing cooking oil, limiting the number of bottles each customer can buy. Signs posted on shelves warn shoppers of these new restrictions, a sight that was once unthinkable for such a basic product. The goal is to prevent panic buying and ensure that everyone gets at least a small share. For many, the sticker shock is real. Shoppers are stunned to see prices that are 2 or 3 times higher than just a year ago. Some are forced to switch to less familiar oils or even cut back on cooking altogether. The impact is being felt in home kitchens, school cafeterias, and restaurants of every size. So next time you reach for that bottle of oil, remember, behind every drop is a complex web of global events, climate challenges, and economic pressures. Expect to pay more, and don't be surprised if you're limited to just 1 bottle per trip. The sizzling crisis of cooking oil is far from over. Eggs, a breakfast staple, are becoming scarce and expensive due to a massive avian flu outbreak. Millions of egg-laying hens have been culled, drastically reducing supply. This global poultry pandemic is causing egg prices to soar, impacting families who rely on them for affordable protein. Be prepared for limited availability and higher prices. Milk, a fridge staple, is under threat from rising feed costs and transportation issues. Dairy farms are struggling with high expenses, leading to closures and reduced milk supply. Expect delays and potential spoilage due to transportation bottlenecks, affecting availability and prices. Rice, a staple for billions, is facing a global shortage. Export bans from major producers like India and extreme weather are shrinking supply. This panic in the market means higher prices and potential purchase limits on rice. Fresh produce is highly vulnerable to extreme weather. Heat waves and droughts are reducing yields while floods destroy crops. Expect volatile prices and availability for fruits and vegetables, making meal planning challenging. Chicken, a popular protein, is facing higher prices and shortages. Rising feed costs, avian flu, and labor shortages are squeezing the supply chain. This trifecta of issues means more expensive and harder to find chicken. Canned goods are facing supply chain bottlenecks. Aluminum shortages and transportation issues are delaying production and distribution. Expect gaps in inventory and higher prices for pantry staples. Coffee, a daily ritual for many, is under threat from climate change. Extreme weather is reducing coffee bean supply, driving up prices. Prepare for more expensive coffee as demand outpaces supply. Sugar, a key ingredient in many foods, is facing a global deficit. Poor harvests and trade restrictions are tightening supply, leading to price spikes. Expect higher costs for sugar and products containing it. Baby formula shortages persist due to a fragile supply chain. Ingredient shortages and transportation issues continue to challenge production. Parents should remain vigilant and have backup plans for specific formula needs. Bottled water is surprisingly in short supply due to surging demand and supply chain issues. Plastic shortages and transportation challenges are limiting availability. Be prepared for purchase limits and higher prices. These shortages highlight the fragility of our food systems. Stay informed, plan your shopping, and avoid hoarding to help manage these challenges. Share your experiences in the comments to help others in your area. Like, subscribe, and stay prepared for more updates.